Every student, now you go to the chapter 10-1, the enterprise purchasing, sale, inventory, and order relationship database. And today we want to practice the chapter 10-4. The two methods to identify the customers with or without order. So the objective is to solve the problem of identifying customers who have placed order and those who has not placed order using two methods. Before we do this, we should connect to the Google server, and for the exercise 1, we should to install Python MySQL driver, and for the exercise 2, we will create a connection object to Azure MySQL database. And for the exercise 3, we will display add tables for business management. And for the exercise 4, we will relate customer and order to determine whether customer have placed order. What does has placed order mean? What does have placed order mean? Have placed order. What does have placed order mean? Which customer have placed order? And we have the first method and the second method. And what does have placed orders mean? If a customer have placed at least one order, it evaluate to true, indicating yes. The purpose is to perform a Boolean check, true or false, to determine whether a customer has or has not placed an order. Here is a note. If a customer has placed 5 orders, the result will still only show true ones. And the method command we use is where exists subquery B. And we use subquery B to check for the existence of a true condition. For the first method, we use join and group by for frequency analysis to identify customer who has placed order. So here and then we want to know the customer name, and here is the number that have placed order. So now I select from a customer and order line. So here is the customers, and we join the orders, and the connection point is customer start customer ID equal to orders customers ID, and then we will show And finally, that I want to know to compare the different customer name. So if I want to compare the customer name, so here that is the goodbye. Goodbye what? Goodbye the customer name. So here that is a customer name. And because that I compare to goodbye, that here this is a new table, and I want to count the number of the order. Count here is my answer is like here. We have a totally 73 records. And the second method that we use the where exists, we use the subquery. And this method is more complex. And for the relationship diagram is order.customer ID to customer ID. So this means the command over here of let is we use the select star from from the customer, and I want to know for the customer where that exists inside a table. This table is we call this a T1. So this table is select star from the order. But I want to know because these two tables they have a relative point, connected point. So from the order where the customers dot customer ID equal the customer with the orders customer ID. So here that is the answer, and I also want to show the name, and also for to show the name, and also to show. Could I use a count? No, I could not use a count. And then I want to practice the exercise 5. I will relate customer and order to identify customer who has not placed order. I will relate customer and order to identify customer who has not placed order. Relate customer and order to identify customer who has not placed the order. And what does have not placed the order mean? Two possible meaning. Customer who do not have any associated record in the orders table, and the customer who exists in customer table but not appear in the orders table. So for this meaning that the command is just like here. Select star from customer where not exist on this T1. Okay, so what does have not placed order mean? We have two meaning, and the answer is completely have not placed any order, which means false, indicating no. The purpose is perform a Boolean check, true or false, to determine whether a customer has or has not placed order. And the method that command that we use that will not exist for the subquery B. And the objective is to check the subquery B for the existence of a false condition. And the result is customer who has not placed order. That is 73 supplier. And the customer who has not placed order, the result is the 17 suppliers. For the first method is use join on to find customer who has not placed order. The first key is if using a left join customer, and then unmatched orders customer ID will appear as known. The second key is then display the record where the customer ID is known. So the command is just like here. I just want to show select star from what? From the customer and joined the orders, and we set the connection point. And here that we have the orders dot customers ID. And you know inside here that because I want to show on the right side that have a no, so I choose to use the left join. Because that after I left join, for the right, for the here we sometimes have the no record. But I want to show the non-record for the order ID, so I just to check where the order ID that is known. Okay, here is the result, and I finally that I only show the customer name. I only show the customer's name and the related order ID. So finally, I could show there are 17 customers. They have no record ID, order ID. That means he have not placed an order. And the second method that we use the will not exist. Okay, so here that I place of here is the select star from the customers, and where not is this inside the subquery. For the subquery of here, let is let start from the orders. But these two tables have a related diagram. Here let is where the first one customers ID equals orders, and for the customer ID, then here the answer here is not exist. So I only show the customer's name. We have 17.1. This company have not placed an order. So we make a conclusion. What does have not placed order means? The first meaning is no relationship exists to the merge query. So we use the approach where not exists and to the T1. T1 is subquery B. And for the second meanings, we use an left join with customers as the primary table. And if order start customers does not appear on the right, it will show as no. The no values represent customer who has not placed an order. The approach is where orders customers is no. And for the seventh exercise, let we use join on to relate customer and order, and to identify where customer has placed order. Okay, here this exercise 7 that we want to press that the customer has placed an order. And because that for this customer and customer ID, for the joined of this, for the related these two table, finally that is a bit table like here. And totally that we have the 190 record, but the answer is 79. Why? That this is because that some record they have the duplicate. For example, for this customer, this have placed many orders, but the topic want to know who has placed an order. So if you place an order and more than one order, but I must to count only one number. So for this problem, that I use the discount to solve the problem. So finally, I will show like here. But you know here that I should to translate because here let I do not translate, so I should to translate let. Here let is chapter 10-4. And sometimes that because that the record of here, I should translate it into the English. one-to-many issue. One-to-many issue. The second method that we use, that we call of that goodbye for grouping. So if we want to solve the problem of that, then you should use this as a solve problem of that. And then here this is the retest of example 1 for the exercise 8. And we want to solve the one-to-many issue. And here is the first method. We use the distinct to show the unique character, unique feature. To solve the one-to-many issue, the first method is display only unique value by distinct column. So we use the distinct column to show the unique value. And to solve the one-to-many issue, we have the second method, that is use the group by. So here we have several problems. And the answer is correct. We have 73 people that who join this activity. Okay, to place an order. 73. Okay, it's a high number of that. And finally, that we use the combination to show the distinct column. Okay, and then we should to practice that again. We will do the exercise 7 to retest example 1 to identify the customer who has placed the order. So, but for this problem, that this is the related to table, that is a one-to-many problem. Okay, I showed over here of this record, but it's very strange that the result contains 190 records instead of the expected 79. And why? This is because that I forget to use the pandas as a PD. If I do of that, then the answer will be okay. Connection is not correct. That's because that it takes a long time after I just to translate just now. So here that the connection object that is disappear or is dismissed. So if this happened, that I just to reinstall and to run that again. So then I can do of that too for the exercise 7, and then I could show the customer name over here. We have totally the 73. So the answer is correct because there are 73 customers who has placed an order. And to solve the one-to-many issue, the second method is to use the group by. Group by, but just now we only use the distinct. We do not use the customer. So I copy the command over here, and to do the modification to do the modification here that we use the goodbye. Okay, I use the goodbye. Goodbye what? Goodbye customers name. And after I do this goodbye, so I know that the first column letter is customer name, and the second column letter is the I okay. Because here goodbye, I do the calculation. Here letter calculation is the count as number of letter. Totally there are 73 rows. And for the exercise 8, here that is a join customer and order to test when the customer has placed order before that I make a join. So let us to see the result. Okay, here that I use the wheel. Okay, so I do this again. Okay, because letter is here, so I do not to recognize. So now I have better to do not to show that again. Okay. So the problem of that, so that is the number, 是数。Here I use this thing. I use the goodbye and to show the number of letters. And for the next letter I related. So the next is I to related of that. For the exercise 8, for the exercise 8, this is the exercise 7, right? We have the something that are not correct of that. For this, why is said the answer is not correct? Okay, this is the 7. And you know here this, but I do not know why you have the problem of that. Seven, you know, we have the several problem of that. I do not know why that I have seen the wrong result of that. That is not something error. That let me check that whether the answer is correct. Okay, so I think the answer that is right is good, right? I use the select star from customers and order, and where here this is the relationship diagram, and I show the customer name, but because that inside the order we have the many customers have placed and the many orders. So, but I only want to show the unique character, so I use the distinct. then the answer will be here, 73. The answer is correct. And the second method that I use goodbye. So you see here, select star from customer's order, where this is the relationship diagram, and I make a goodbye. So I just show this customer name. So the answer is still correct. This is the 73th record. Okay, student, like here, like you have the 10 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes to practice of this example.